now we're getting into the Star Wars stuff. So, new Star Wars this week is The Mandalorian. And which episode is this? Episode 6. Now, I've already heard a lot of people saying that they didn't like this episode. I enjoyed it for the most part. It wasn't the best episode, but it wasn't the worst. What was it called? Chapter 22, Guns for Hire. Din Djarin, who's the Mandalorian, and Bo-Katan, Katie Sackhoff. Oh yeah, spoilers by the way. So they end up on this planet, Plizar 15. They meet up with Lizzie and Jack Black. I mean, the place looks beautiful, and you can see all these. He has Imperial badges on him, but he's wearing a completely different uniform. A lot of the guards there are wearing Imperial Stormtrooper armor, but only part of it, just the underneath, and then they have other things on top of it, and they're not wearing the helmets, or they have different helmets. So there's a lot of remnants of the Empire. Baby Yoda does a flip, because you gotta do the big flip all the time, and is hanging out with Lizzie for most of the episode, while Bo-Katan and Din Djarin are investigating. This planet can't deal with their own crime or their own issues. They have to hire these guys to deal with it for them. It's just kind of do this, then do this, then do this, then do this, then do this, all to do that so that they could originally get to their original one, which all they want to do was go talk to the Mandalorians that are there that are now mercenaries and have the Imperial Star Destroyer that they stole at the end of the last episode. And then those are the people that left Bo-Katan, and she's just sitting in her castle there on her pillows there, just relaxing by herself there, I guess. Didn't look very comfortable, that throne. So we get, who else do we get? Yeah, we get Christopher Lloyd makes an appearance in this. This was kind of a Scooby-Doo episode, except he didn't really say why he did. Should have said, I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you meddling Mandalorians. The dark saber thing that they did between Din and Bo-Katan, going back a few episodes ago when they were on Mandalore. I was talking to Christine about that before. That wasn't really a good way of handling that. He's just like, here, I'm gonna hand you my dark saber, and because you defeated that enemy. Well, why didn't you just let her keep it, 3 episodes ago, because she had it? Seems kind of after the fact, and not really a good way of dealing with it. Although they did kind of paint themselves into a corner with the Mandalorian having this dark saber. Bo-Katan wants to rule, and the only way she can get the dark saber is by winning it in a fight. I mean, that's kind of a technicality how she won it in a fight. She didn't actually win it from him. I mean, it would have been better if they had just, had some dumb fight and he just, let her smack him around for a bit, and then he's like, okay, here, take it. I give up. And he's like, yeah, I'm fine, though. That would have been better than this, I guess. Enjoyed seeing Jack Black and Lizzie there, Christopher Lloyd. Did anyone get vibes that he was Old Man Withers from Scooby-Doo? Because he was behind all of it. I enjoyed seeing the droid bar. Christine and I were commenting on that when we watched it there on Wednesday. Because it's always, droids aren't welcome. We don't serve your kind there, because I guess they're very racist against droids in the Star Wars universe. So droids have to go to their own bar. I think we see some of that too in Futurama. Maybe Futurama copied that from Star Wars, because Bender and all the robots, they don't usually hang out with the humans. Bender just hangs out with the gang there, but they go to their own bars and everything. Now, I'm thinking they stole that idea from Star Wars. Overall, I enjoyed the episode. It was probably the weakest episode. Now, I do have news. Went through earlier a whole bunch of Star Wars news, but I kept some of it in the back there because, according to Decider.com, They came out with an article on the 3rd Monday, so yeah, I'm a little bit behind because I only do a couple episodes a week. The state of Star Wars: does the Mandalorian stumble signal big trouble for Disney Plus? I don't know about that. This was the show that really launched Disney Plus. That's why I signed up for it, and it had nothing on it, just old things. So, uh, let's just say here. There's a moment in almost every Star Wars story where our beloved heroes face an ambush. What they thought was a clear escape down a trash chute, a safely hidden Hoth base, or perfectly protected Mandalorian castle is suddenly a killing field. Our heroes have to use their luck, pluck, and the Force to save their skins. Lately, it seems as if Disney Plus's Star Wars television shows have stumbled into their own bit of danger and are in need of rescue. Yeah, recent shows have not been well received. I've had fun with them. I enjoy getting more Star Wars. Just as an aside there, I know a lot of people didn't like Book of Boba Fett. I'm not a big fan of it either. I don't apologize for it. I don't apologize for anything. That if you don't like a certain Star Wars property, fair enough. Just tell us why, and then let's move on. But if other people enjoy it, let them enjoy it. So, I always enjoyed all the Star Wars movies, and the shows as well, until more recently. But I don't want to get into that because I'd rather talk about things that I enjoy. But recent Star Wars Disney Plus shows, because we haven't had a movie since 2019 with Rise of Skywalker. We've had Book of Boba Fett. People didn't like that. But they did enjoy the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian. Huge ratings for that. Huge ratings for the first season. Then second season was even more. Book of Boba Fett. People didn't like that. Still had pretty good, decent ratings. Then we had Obi-Wan. It was the biggest show in the world at one time. And I enjoyed parts of it. Others, nah. I might rewatch it and do a review of it sometime. Andor, which critics have loved this. Audiences didn't bother watching it. I wonder what it would say on Rotten Tomatoes, because audiences didn't watch it as much, but apparently the audiences that did watch season 1 of Andor has an 85% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes and a 96% critic score. I loved it. A lot of people did, but if they didn't like Obi-Wan or Book of Boba Fett, they might have tapped out by then. So that's not really a good strategy on their part. And now we're getting The Mandalorian Season 3, and it's having even lower ratings. And that's what this article is all about. While the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian were massive critical and commercial successes, Star Wars TV in 2022 was a decidedly mixed bag. The Book of Boba Fett polarized fans and disappointed critics. Yeah, that's being nice. Who gave it a generous 66% score to the audience's 55% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, I'd say that's generous too. It wasn't that great. Does anyone remember the Mos Espa Vespa gang? That was ridiculous. Obi-Wan Kenobi was better received, but didn't make a massive dent on pop culture. Yeah, I could have done without that. It was cool to see, but they didn't need to do that. Andor was universally beloved by critics, but rejected by normies. I guess that they mean general audiences there, who made it the least watched Star Wars live action show on Disney Plus to date. Yikes. And it was and critics say it's one of the best things of Star Wars to come out since Empire Strikes Back in 1980. And it is really good. It's more Star Wars for adults. But Star Wars is also for kids. Kids could watch it. I don't know if they'd be interested or not. As a 10-year-old, I probably would have been, but there's a lot of things in this that would have gone over my head. In Andor Season 1, that probably would have gone over my head. So Season 3, according to the chart of the Nielsen ratings, it's not looking good here. What do they have to say? The Mandalorian Season 3 premiered on March 1st, 2023, to a significantly subdued reception, especially when compared to Mando Season 2. Series star Pedro Pascal was arguably enjoying more attention for his work on HBO's The Last of Us, which was great. Critics dimmed their elusive praise for the series, and industry scuttle was that it was not nabbing the Coruscant skyscraper high ratings of past years. This, coupled with numerous reports of shelved and scrapped Star Wars features, puts the future of Lucasfilm's biggest franchise in jeopardy. Whoever wrote this must really be into Star Wars. Okay? It's really only the hardcore Star Wars fans that know Coruscant, I find. But, I don't know. If you're not a big fan of Star Wars and you recognize the name Coruscant and know all about it, leave a comment down below. Maybe I'm completely wrong on that. So, The Mandalorian is... I'm enjoying it. We still got 2 more episodes. One of the problems with this season is there's no overarching theme or quest. The show is just it's just meandering and it's just going wherever. The first season was he finds the youngling, and season 1, season 2, he's got to get him back to his people. He's been charged with this quest. And then they do that. And then he gets him back in Book of Boba Fett in 2 episodes. Then it goes to, and now we're back to season 3. They need, and now he has to redeem himself. He has to go take a swim on Mandalore. Okay, he did that. Bo-Katan rescued him because him and his armor sank. Now they're, I don't know, what are they doing? They're gathering up the Mandalorians so that they can retake Mandalore. Who are they retaking Mandalore from? When he was there, all he saw was that Krang creature and then a bunch of cave trolls. Is there someone else that has taken it? If you know the answer to that, let me know down in the comments below, but I have no idea what's going on. Still enjoying it, though. We're not seeing as much Baby Yoda. Maybe this is a show where they kind of need to wrap it up, and then that can lead into, Bo-Katan, Mandalore series, or I don't know what their plans are. I have been enjoying the storytelling where they have their main storyline, but they also do a lot of side stories. I was enjoying that, and they haven't done that the past couple episodes. Maybe they could have used that this episode and shortened their main storyline and get rid of all this, them being junior detectives, private eyes on this alien world. Overall, I'm still really enjoying it, and I'm down for the next 2 episodes. Are you enjoying it? Let me know what you think of The Mandalorian. Are you still watching it for season 3? Have you tapped out? Let us know down in the comments below. We'll read them out. Christine will be back for a future episode, and we'll go through those. I think everyone's talking about why people have tapped out of this. Could be the last couple Star Wars shows weren't very good. And so general audiences just aren't enjoying it, so it's just the hardcore Star Wars fans that are watching it. I still think it's probably getting good enough ratings that they're going to continue it. I mean, we got news from Star Wars Celebration that they're going to be wrapping it up with a movie. Maybe they're going to do season 4. I'm not quite sure on that. I got to read more on that. I think the answer is more simple than that, why people have checked out. Times are tough right now. I mean, between Christina and I, we got a few subscription services, but we don't have all of them. I don't have Apple TV Plus. I don't have Paramount Plus. What are some other ones that we could get here? I don't think we have Peacock here in Canada. So those would be the other 2 that I don't have them, and I have no plans to go and get them anytime soon. And with times being tough and inflation is really bad all over the world, that's not what this show is about, but people have... a lot of them have canceled their Disney Plus subscriptions, from what I've heard. I've even heard it on the news. People are just saying, yeah, we gotta make some cutbacks. Disney Plus is usually the first thing on the chopping block unless you got little kids. But if your kids are teenagers or older, moved out of the house, what do you sign up for Disney Plus for unless you're a huge Marvel or a Star Wars fan? Are people signing up for Disney Plus so they can watch, that Enchanted sequel? I don't know. I know I didn't. That's why I still have Disney Plus. I watch all the Star Wars and Marvel stuff that comes out there. And the shows, they don't get released on physical media or anything, so that's the only way to watch it. Why do you think that Star Wars Season 3 of Mandalorian has dropped so much? If you got a better theory, let me know.